those terrorist attacks on Kanam and Wase communities of Plateau State, the House noted that on Sunday, the 10th April of 2022, around 10 a.m. in the morning, terrorists unleashed terror on the people of Kanam and Wase local government of Plateau State, killing 92 persons, injured over 20 people, and displaced properties in Kukawa, Keram, Gembo, Dungur communities of Kanam local government, as well as other communities in Wasai like Zurak, Pinau, Zak, Sabongida, Dogorua, Gembi, Yuli, and others. Mr. Speaker, the total number of 41 houses were burned in Kanam local government. 86 shops were destroyed completely and burned. 8 motorcycles were equally burned and destroyed, leaving a total of 3,413 persons displaced in Kanam local government, as well as 41 communities in Wase local government were displaced. Further note, Mr. Speaker, that over 20 victims have sustained various degrees of injuries and are currently receiving medication at Garga Primary Health Care, Dengue General Hospital, Federal Medical Center Bauchi, and Jos University Teaching Hospital, respectively. Mr. Speaker, Dengue and Wasai, the headquarters of the 2 local governments, including places like Jarmai Garga, are among different locations that are hosting the displaced persons in Wase and Kanam local government as a result of Sunday 10th April 2022 attack. Mr. Speaker, disturbed that despite intelligence reports by the Department of State Services on the influx of terrorists flying to Plateau and other neighboring states of Taraba, specifically in Wasai and Kanam local government forests in Plateau, no proactive measures were initiated by security agencies to avert this ugly terror attack. The security agencies have reliable information at their disposal of the various camps of these terrorists in Gambari Forest in Taraba, including other communities in Taraba such as Guamu, Barikin Amar, Kwata, Nando, Tungan Shishi, Gwara, Kukurmi, Shoful, among others in Taraba. Mr. Speaker, they are equally aware that the terrorists are equally situated in Wase local government, in some forests in Wase local government, such as Pinau, Zak, Zurak, Sabongari, Dogonrua, Gimbi, and Yuli, respectively. Whereas in Kanam local government, Mr. Speaker, they are in such places such as Kukawa, Keram, Gembo, among other communities that we are affected. Aware that the House of Representatives, Mr. Speaker, passed a resolution on the similar motion brought by the Deputy Speaker on the 14th December 2021, and many other security resolutions passed by the House of Representatives, and equally communicated such resolution to government and all security agencies. But unfortunately, no action was taken by the government. Concerned that if no stringent security measures are taken to safeguard the lives of the people in compliance with Section 2 of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria 1999 as amended, particularly Section 14(2)(b), which clearly stated, and I quote, that security and welfare of the people shall be the primary purpose of government, end of quote. Resolve 2, observe a minute silence as a mark of respect to all killed in the terror attack in Kanam and Wase local governments of areas of Plateau State. 2, urge the Ministry of Humanitarian Affairs, Disaster Management and Social Development through the National Emergency Agency NEMA to immediately provide relief materials to victims of the attacks in communities within Wasai and Kanam local government areas of Plateau State. 3, urged the President, Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, to, as a matter of urgency, direct the Minister of Defense, the Chief of Defense Staff, the Inspector General of Police, and the Director of State Service to initiate a coordinated joint security operations and provide aerial surveillance and support to flush out the terrorists and destroy their camps, particularly in Gambari in Taraba State, Bangala in Wase local government, Kukawa Keram in Kanam local government of Plateau State. 4. Urge the Chief of Army Staff to establish military bases in affected communities in Angwangyoro, Kansar in Munbupo, Garga, Keram, Gyambo, Kukawa, Dada, Dugup in Kanam local government, Zurak, Pinau, Zak, Sabongari, Dogorua, Gimbi Yuli in Wase local government, as well as Gambari, Guamu, Barikin Amar, Kwata, na Ardo, Tungan Shishi, Gwara, Kurmin Shofol in Taraba State of Nigeria. 5. Urge the Inspector General of Police to immediately deploy mobile police force squadron to maintain law and order and provide mobile force squadron formation in the affected communities. 6. Commend the effort of the Governor of Plateau State for ensuring the presence of security in the affected communities in Kanam and Wase local government, and the Executive Chairman of the 2 local government, Wase and Kanam, and other stakeholders of the local government for coming together to salvage the situation. And 5, mandate the Committee on Emergency and Disaster Management, Armed Forces Committee, Police, National Security and Intelligence, as well as legislative compliance to ensure compliance and furnish the House with a weekly report until the situation is brought under control. I so move, Mr. Speaker.
Convoy, we have our houses fenced round with security men everywhere we go. We have the apparatus of government protecting us. But like my brother duly said, Mr. Speaker, we are being paid to occupy this position of privilege by the sweat and the taxes of some people. And those are the average men and women of this country whose security is today not taken into consideration and factored into whatever government does at any level. One part of this motion that actually touched me, Mr. Speaker, is the reference to the fact that there were early warning signals, information given to security agencies about the plans by some terrorists and evil-minded people to attack innocent persons. And this information given by respected and responsible members of the public were not acted upon by the security agencies. Now the question is why? Is it that they feel that those information were not, important enough? Is it that they feel that there are some people behind this that they must not touch? We must go to the root of this matter. Why were those pieces of information given to the security agencies not acted upon? We have to have an insight into the workings in the mind of those who have charged with the responsibility of ensuring the safety of life and property in this country. And Mr. Speaker, I believe very strongly that until we rise up as a body, somebody made that suggestion a few weeks ago, it appears as if it was going overboard. If we have to shut down the business of lawmaking in this House and move to those places and sit as a committee of whole to investigate these things and invite those who are directly responsible to such meetings to tell us why they got information about impending attack and refuse to act on it. Most of those who come on the attack, Mr. Speaker, do not come in 1 or 2. At times they are 20, they are 30. How do they move into communities and escape in those communities without being detected, without being apprehended? This has to come to a stop, Mr. Speaker. And only the Parliament of the Federal Republic of Nigeria can lead that change, because it appears that there's an absence of government from the executive level, and we must hope to rise up to that responsibility. Thank you so much, Mr. Speaker.
Every day we start and deliberate on issues, particularly issues to do with security. We always ask us what to do, who is to be blamed, who is responsible. I'm sorry, Mr. Speaker, my submissions today might be a little bit different. I believe the president of the country is responsible for every actions or inactions that happened in the land. Why? Because he took an oath that he is going to perform his responsibilities and duties without fear or favor. I respect him. I believe in him. I believe he is all and age enough to give this country the direction and the leadership required. But why I blame the president is, why will you believe in having monopoly of knowledge? Why will you continuously maintain one national security advisor over all these years of your government? And you can understand that the national security advisor provides a leadership to the security apparatus in the land. And as national security advisor, he is supposed to submit to the president an executive summary of what the security situation of the land is. And the president innocently will act on the advice of the national security advisor. So where you maintain somebody who cannot be able to see outside the box, or who believes in one particular tradition, I don't think we are going to get it correct. My submission is very simple. If the president means well to this country, and if we are really trying to look for solution, he has to immediately sack the national security advisor. 2, he has to remove his minister of defense. Where you have a minister of defense who is old enough that he cannot even move to Kaduna when there is a plane attack, how can that minister of defense coordinate the defense apparatus who ought to have been the head of the security agencies when they are doing their own professional meetings? This is my submission, and this is my belief, and this is my understanding. Thank you.
We must rise up to the occasion. We are in a desperate situation, and this situation demands desperate action. I believe, in my own opinion, that the issue of security is a responsibility of us all, of each and every one of us. At this stage, it has gone beyond just government alone. Do you even know who your neighbors are? Everything we keep blaming the president will not come and tell you who your neighbor is. We should embark on massive awareness campaign, Operation Know Who Your Neighbor Is. We already know. Yes, it's the truth. We should begin to take it to our schools. 20 years ago, the issue of security became a problem in Nigeria. If we were teaching it in our schools, make it compulsory in every school. A child of 20 years is big enough to be married and even bear children. Let us begin to teach it in our schools, make it a curriculum, make it compulsory.
Honorable colleagues, please, can we listen to our colleague in silence, please?
Day in, day out, we come to this chamber, hollow chamber, and begin to discuss the issue of security. And we will, as Honorable Linda just said, it has become a new number. Are we going to accept it that way? What are we doing as a people to ensure that we bring this to an end? Let us, on our own, take the message back to our community. Our chiefs should begin to meet. Our chiefs should begin to meet. It's no longer about information alone. We have the information. We know where the problems are. We know that in the middle, north central, where I come from, it is farmer herders' problem. We know that in the northeast, there's banditry, there's kidnapping. We know that there's militancy in the south-south. So what are we doing? Each area or locality has its own peculiarity.
As I said earlier, this is a motion that is similar to what we have just discussed. The difference is just in numbers. Honorable Speaker, the House notes that on Tuesday, the early hours of yesterday, suspected herdsmen stormed Tiotu village in Taraba local government in my constituency and killed 12 persons. The House further notes that on the 11th, day before yesterday, in an adjoining village in Badwem is in Guma local government, a neighboring local government to my constituency, 7 persons were massacred at night. The House is worried that this is capable of escalating grave insecurity in the country because Tiotu, the village in question where 12 people were killed yesterday, is on a trunk A road, and overzealous youths could cause anything, including blocking major roads, which could result in anything. The House is further concerned that this matter has created fears among our constituents and it poses grave danger in many ways, which could include negative reactions from our constituents. I am very brief, and my prayers
please.
And that of our
colleagues, please, can you people listen to our colleague in silence, please?
Right, Honorable Speaker, honorable colleagues, my prayers are that all security agencies be directed to conduct proper investigations. To mount strategic checkpoints in all flashpoints to stem the escalation. The second prayer is that NNAMDIKANU might be directed to quickly move in to supply items to these 2 communities of Mbadwem and Tiotu, whose inhabitants are on the run and their homes being destroyed. The third and last prayer, Your Excellency, is that a minute silence be observed in honor of the many deceased. Right, Honorable Speaker, honorable colleagues, I so move.
Seconder.
Thank you so much, Right Honorable Speaker. Honorable colleagues, I remain Honorable Benjamin Bem Mzondu. Mr. Speaker, the issue of insecurity in Benue is no longer news. Again, Benue bleeds, and the life of innocent Nigerians is again running the soil of Benue that is known to be the agricultural hub of Nigeria. Mr. Speaker, this coincidence is becoming one many coincidence. In every raining season, our people are put to flight by bandits, terrorists, and herdsmen that are the militia arms, killing our people, making sure that fear, which is the major instrument used by terrorists, is put in the heart of people. And as we speak, yesterday, mass burial was conducted in my own federal constituency. Today, Taka is next. Only God knows which local government or which community will be attacked after today. Benue's name has been mentioned on this floor time without number. What again does Benue need to do? Is Benue not part of this confederation? We belong here. Why must we be chased out of our lands? Benue people are known to farm. As we speak, my people cannot go to farm. Hunger crisis is on the way. What again do we need to do? My governor has always been crying. The legislators from Benue have always been crying. Our senators are crying. Everybody in Benue is crying. What more does Benue need to do? We need to survive. The executive headed by Mr. President must know that Benue, our lives matter. Let the lives of Benue people be taken seriously. Every month, every week, we come here and we cry. And today again, Benue is bleeding. From Sokoto to Lagos, the land is bleeding. From Zamfara to Akwa Ibom, the land is bleeding. What more can we do? If the government has failed in providing for security of lives, they should call for help. We are in a situation where we need help. And one of the ways they can help us citizens is to resign and down tools. We must rise. Our people are being killed. Even the lives of animals is now worth more than the life of a citizen. If you want to get a neighbor's chicken, he will ask you, why are you going after my chicken? But for Nigerian lives, nobody queries. Nobody asks. Every day, people are slaughtered. People are butchered. People are chased out of their homes. What more do we need to do before this government will step up? There needs to be a game change. We can't be doing the same thing and expect a different result. The approach must change. Mr. Speaker, I beg you.
Thank you.
Let Benue no longer plead again.
Thank you.
Let our lands be safe. Let our people be safe.
Yes.
Thank you.
Honorable Khadija.
State. Mr. Speaker, I've listened very carefully to all the arguments this morning and all the contributions as to the insecurity of our dear nation. I can testify that since 2009, when Boko Haram started the insurgency in the northeastern part of Nigeria, we have seen no peace. The situation has escalated to so many other parts of the country, and all Nigerians weep and cry as to why they are not safe. After all, their lives and properties are in the hands of the government of the day. Now, what I want to say is that we cannot castigate just the president on the failure of insecurity in this country. He has delegated certain people to look after security in this country. Now, if these people are not actually up to the task, then we have to call for some other people to come and look after the security in the nation. After all, we're all part and parcel of this country, and whatever happens in this country, we must ask on how this country will move forward. We should not play the blame game now. It is a bit late in the day. We should put all our hands on deck to ensure that Nigeria moves forward and that security is installed once again. So I implore on all our members to please stay calm and try as much as possible to offer enough prayers to our nation, because what is lacking absolutely is prayers to this nation. I think both the Muslim and Christians should please vow, fast and pray for the security of our nation. Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker, for giving me the opportunity.
Whip, Deputy Whip.
This past years. And it's very sad, and very sad indeed. I've listened to my colleagues, and I believe that, yes, this is time to call for accountability. And anybody that have been given responsibility should be responsible to those targets and those tasks. Mr. Speaker, I do not want to use several words, but I want to say that our nation is under siege. Our nation is under siege. Our nation is under siege. Whether we accept it or not, that's a fact. We are talking about Plateau State. After that, we spoke about Benue. We are speaking about Imo State, Abia State, Ebonyi State, Anambra State, where non-state actors are burning down police stations and killing human beings. Where is left? The question is where it's left. The situation we are in today is that we do not know the next place. We do not know the next state. We do not know the next community. Neither do we know the next constituency. The way it is that we just wait and let it happen. And it keeps happening, it keeps happening, and nothing is being done. And I also have to restate here that no matter what we do, no matter what we say, no matter how much we talk, that action speaks louder than words. Nigerians want to wake up and be assured that when they go to their to travel with rail, that the rail will not be bombed. Nigerians want to be reassured that when they travel by road, that they will arrive safely. Today, the roads are not safe, the train stations are not safe, the airports are not safe. Nowhere is safe. Even your house is not safe. Well, how do we reconcile that after giving information to certain people whose responsibility is to nip it on the bud, and they don't do that? So it's called for action. Nobody's blaming anybody, because if Mr. President cannot be everywhere at the same time, but people who are saddled with responsibility should be able to be accountable to the position they are occupying. We must live up to the expectation of our position. So, Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues, I would not have more time, but I also say that as we speak today, we should remember that Chibok girls are still in captivity, that many students are still in captivity, that the people who were kidnapped during the bomb station in Kaduna State, they are still in captivity. And people are calling that, oh, government should do something within 48 hours, within 24 hours. Where does that lead us? I believe that I also agree that it's time to call for a state of emergency. It's time to think outside the box. It's time to do something now, and not to postpone it anymore. Otherwise, we will not have anything left, because nobody is paid. The generals are not paid. They are kidnapping them when they travel. The military men are not paid. They are killing our men every day, no matter how, even when they kill the men that have gone even to protect us. So that means that the situation is bad enough for us to wake up from our slumber and do something needful and very urgent.
Thank you.
I so submit.
Cross River. Come this way.
Mr. Speaker, like you know, for over 4 years, we are bringing motions upon motions in terms of killing Nigerians. Properties are lost. We are bringing motions, resolutions. What is the position of our resolution?
Honorable Betara, please, you are sitting where you do not belong. You either go back to your seat or you resign your position. Go back to your seat or you resign your position.
Mr. Speaker, I said today is not a day for joke. Mr. Speaker, today is a day for serious business of this National Assembly. Mr. Speaker, like I've said, ordinary Nigerian is blaming all of us. When you say government, there are governments, we in the National Assembly, whether PDP or APC, you are part of the government. Judiciary is part of the government. Executive are also government. So ordinary Nigerians will look at National Assembly and say all of us are always after our welfare, not after the welfare of ordinary Nigerians. That's ordinary Nigerian. But we're here on blame game. So let's stop the blame game, Mr. Speaker. Let's look at this issue critically. If it is possible, Mr. Speaker, let's even shut down the National Assembly and look at these issues that we are getting motions, we are doing resolution, nothing is happening. Mr. Speaker, even if it is our budget, let's sit down with the executive, everybody in this country who matters, to look at our budget. Is it that we don't have the arms to fight the terrorists, the bandits, whoever? Is it the arms? If it's the arms, even if it is some of our infrastructure projects, we stop them and look at security. Even if it is our welfare, Mr. Speaker, let's keep it aside and look at the security and bring out something that will protect the lives of Nigerians. Mr. Speaker, like I'm saying, if you look at the security, most of the complaints are with the high-ranking personnel of the security, but ordinary, poor, other ranks. Some of them are on the field. They are killed every day as they are killing others. Mr. Speaker, so let's look at it holistically. If it is the senior or the high-ranking personnel in the military, police, and other security agencies, let's deal with it squarely. Let's know what to do. Even if it... Even if to say we are to retire all the high-ranking so that...
Honorable colleagues, minority leader.
I don't want to be a governor.
Like I said, Mr. Speaker, ordinary other rank of all these security agencies.
Colleagues, listen to Honorable Woodil in silence, please. Woodil is on the floor.
Are also killed like other Nigerians. I cannot know the count of police officers, army officers who are killed in the field. So, Mr. Speaker, it is everybody's business, either in the legislature, either in the security, either in the executive. So what is the solution? What do we do as a house or as National Assembly to surmount all these motions, all these resolutions we're doing? Is no more time for motion, no more time for what do we do? Like I said, Mr. Speaker, even if we are to close down and look at these issues by its own merits and know how to handle it. Mr. Speaker, if you look at it, Mr. Speaker, we have committees on all these...
Grant Honorable Woodil, because he has the floor and has protection of the Speaker.
Mr. Speaker, like I said, no need for blame game. Let's look at the situation on ground and do the needful as soon as possible. Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker.
Yes, sir. Lastly, yes, we'll take the amendment. Selani?
Honorable Speaker, my colleagues, I'm Dr. Abdullah Balarbe Salah, heavily moved by almost every day on this security. And when we look into the results, we find nothing, because the thing is escalating everywhere. Before it was only Maiduguri. It come to gradually, now it has covered the whole nation. And based on the security challenges we are having, this House do approve a lot of money for the security agencies. As said by engineer, Honorable Jaha has mentioned just part of what was approved and given to the security agencies. Fortunately, last year budget was executed almost 100%. And in that budget, they requested for all they need for them to be able to tackle the security situation, but all in vain, Mr. Speaker. Just last year, I think we are given approval to make use of the fighting jets that Tucano, to use it, where we declare the bandit as terrorists. And the United Nations agreed that this Boko Haram and this bandit are terrorists. They should be dealt with same way the terrorists are being dealt worldwide. So we have given money, and this money is our money, it's taxpayer money. We bought this fighting jet. But Mr. Speaker, I have never had, especially in the Northwest, where the military or the Air Force use this to chase these bandits. And Mr. Speaker, the way these bandits are moving, even if to say those 5% of the money given to the security institutions were given to individuals to acquire weapons, they will be able to protect themselves. But Mr. Speaker, bandits will attack a village or a town, we use phone.
Honorable colleagues from Benue, you know that your motion is on the floor, and TJ Sergis. Education. Comrade, former comrade.
I try and summarize
Your Excellency,
submission.
The reachable only are the people that do not have anything to address the problem. You reach the checkpoint, military at the checkpoint, they complain that they say they have only one vehicle, and that vehicle they don't have foil. Or you reach the DPO, he say his vehicle is collapsed. He don't have anything. When you try to reach the state, even state level, you cannot reach them. Talk less of the headquarters. So please, Honorable Speaker, what I am suggesting, Honorable Speaker, what I am suggesting, one, let us invite the Chief of Air Force, the Air Force. What are they using? What are they using the money we use to purchase all they need for the fighting jet, especially this Tucano? Have we purchased this Tucano just to show it as a show in the country? Or we bought it to use it and fight the insurgency and the banditry? Also, Ministry of Communication, Honorable Speaker, Ministry of Communication now, if an important...
Chairman of Operation.
Mr. Speaker, if somebody was attacked in his house and his phone is being stolen, they will know how to trace and get the person who stole that phone and take him to wherever they want to take him to. Why can't they use the same ministry? Why the same ministry cannot, anytime somebody was kidnapped, anytime the bandit attacked, when they attack, especially if they kidnap somebody, they use phone to call, they use phone to bargain. Why can't the Ministry of Communication block each number that call, bargaining or claiming or requesting for anything, use the number to negotiate with the family of the victims? But they allow the victims, they allow the banditry to continue using number, calling, communicating, bargaining, and the Ministry of Communication has no role to play. They don't do anything. They don't do anything. Why can't them immediately when somebody was kidnapped, they block his line first? And any number they used to call the family, they block that number. They continue calling, they continue blocking. When they have no means of communicating to the family, there is no way that they can claim for themselves. At the end of the day, they must release somebody because they may not have any means of communicating to anybody. And this flight, this fighting jet we bought, let them please, Your Excellency, Honorable Speaker, sir, please let them come and explain to us what is the way they provide for them to be reached by anybody when there is problem at anywhere in this country. No means of reaching them. All do we spend to buy this Tucano, we spend it go in vain, useless, because they don't use it, and we have no benefit for that Tucano to tackle our problems. Please let them explain to us.
Thank you, Honorable.
What way have they provided where the Nigerians can reach them and tell them this is the problem? Somebody take 500 cows, somebody move in with 100 motorcycles, even the dust they raise, you can trace them by your mere eye. Talk about somebody who was given
thank you
to go. Mr. Speaker, please let us invite the Air Force. Let us invite the Minister of Communication.
Thank you, Honorable Salami.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Just to clarify,
I prefer that the House call on federal government that federal government should, as a matter of urgency, evoke the provision of Section 83, Subsection 1, as it relates to contingency fund, to enable the government employ the mercenaries to quell this insurgency that is ravaging our country. I so move.
Seconder.
That this honorable House set up a security summit. We had a security summit. We exhaustively discussed all security issues and matters. And then we passed some resolutions. These resolutions were brought to the floor of this parliament.
and they were approved. I want to believe that they have been sent to the presidency. If they have, maybe we should do a reminder to them. And that leads to my first amendment, which is that the president should urgently, we urge the president to immediately implement the resolutions of the Security Summit organized by the House last year, which resolutions have been passed to the presidency long ago. That's my first amendment.
Seconded to the amendment.
Guns are flying around. Some of them don't even have license. Some of them have license.
Move the amendment.
Yes. We are at a stage now, I want to humbly move that we approve or add to the resolution that all those who are bearing guns that have no licenses should turn in their guns to the nearest police station. Otherwise, they should be arrested. 2, those who are bearing guns even with license, let them turn it in, and then at a renewal, they may take it back. Otherwise, the way we are going in this country now, what is causing all this problem is these guns that some people are that they are bearing all about. And they are dealing with people who are not bearing any guns. And the security situation is such that unless they take them up and try to there is a directive that the guns will return.
Morano, you are one of the most experienced members of this parliament.
Yes.
So I believe when they are moving an amendment, there is a difference between amendment and debate. But I still want.
Thanks for checking out SYMFONI on YouTube. Please be sure to subscribe and like our videos for updates.